Good morning, YouTube. This video will be a comparison of the 3-ton and 1.5-ton Badland off-road jacks, primarily looking at the weight and size differences, accessories and additions to the new jack, as well as who this 1.5 or this 3-ton jack might suit best. Obviously, getting the hard numbers out of the way. With the 1.5-ton, you're looking at roughly 48 pounds. The 3-ton weighs about 72 pounds. There's about a 24-pound difference between the two of them. Looking at the total length of the components, first and foremost, you got the handles. This is the 3-ton jack. This is the 1.5 jack. Obviously, girth-wise, 1.5-ton is going to be a slight smaller difference, but where you really see it is in the total length. On the left, you'll see it stops right here. On the right, it goes a little further. That's about a 10-inch difference in total length. As far as length of the jacks themselves, the 1.5 jack, have tried to match them up by the base of the wheel, so obviously there's going to be some distance in the front, but total length difference is going to be about 8.5 inches. Width difference, which, as you can tell, 3-ton jack on the left versus the right, is going to be about 2-inch width difference. And then the heights without the jacks being up, so just primarily looking at the jacking points when they're straight up, it's going to be about a 1.5-inch height difference there. Something very interesting I saw with a full extension of the jacks, so the base plate is located here, and then on 3-ton located here. It's about a 7-inch height difference, but with the adapters that you can screw in, it makes it pretty much even from what I can see. The video might not be doing it justice, but the 1.5-inch is lifting roughly just as high as the 3-ton. Obviously, you know, when you're out on ground, it's going to be a little different. The size of the wheels, I know, probably will add something since they're not evenly height-wise correct, but those are just the hard numbers for you. One thing to note with the new 1.5-ton jack, it does come with the little handle to screw down the plate. This little quick move disconnect, so you push this back and it locks it in place, so that way you can move it around. But two new additions are the one brake, so if you push this all the way down, this clamps down on the wheel and keeps it from rotating, so your jack's not rolling around on you. To get it off, you just push it forward. And then additionally, what Harbor Freight is calling their precise descent control. So unlike the 3-ton jack, where if you release the valve, it's going to drop as fast as you release it, so you got to manually control it. On the new 1.5-ton, it automatically should control that descent for you with a slow release. If you guys have any questions, throw it in the comments. Thank you. One thing I did forget to mention was who this might suit best. So for me, I have a 2023 Silverado ZR2 and a 1986 K10, and then I work on a myriad of different vehicles throughout. However, I always need something with a higher level jack, but seeing as how I'm not lifting any 1-ton vehicles, maybe even 3/4-ton vehicles, 3-ton jack is just a little bit more bulky, weight and lengthwise than I would desire. And plus, I put it in that weather guard toolbox, so the extra space would, space is gold, real estate's gold, so the more space I can have in my toolbox for other things, the better. So for me, as a daily person, changing tires, working on my cars, this 1.5-ton jack is going to be perfect. I have a 20-foot trailer that the 3-ton will be going on, just in case, just to have that versatility. But if you're looking at this video, I think if you're looking for something that weighs lighter, since it's a little bit smaller, you don't need that full, 3-ton lifting capacity, then by all means, 1.5-ton jack is definitely worth the cost.